A very good morning from what is an extremely cold Manchester today. Beautiful, sunny, blue sky, but very, very, very cold. Is it better than our normal rain? Of course it is. But if you're one of those poor people who actually suffers from the cold, my MS seems to have a very adverse effect or a very argumentative relationship with the cold. The colder it is, the iller I feel. But hey, that's how it is. What I want to talk to you about today is something that I can see coming. As it says in the title, I think the title itself is going to be worrying for some people. I see coming a time very soon, because of what is happening in this country, all allied to mass immigration. And it's not just illegal immigration, it's legal immigration as well, because there are so many people entering this country from so many countries they're coming into this country, if you believe the spin from the government, they're coming into this country to assist us to actually fill gaps in our employment. So we are being told that they are all have usable skills. They are all doctors, nurses, scientists, all people who can slot in to openings that are available in health trusts, drug companies, technology companies, and so on. What we're actually seeing is an influx of people who are not only not these kind of professionals, but people who are coming into the country who have not got any skills whatsoever, none that are transferable. Quite a lot of them do not speak English either at all, or speak English very, very badly. And so the question is that in what world are they going to slot into in this country of ours? With that being said, what is also happening, of course, the view of people such as myself who love this country, who's very, very proud of our union, and also being very proud of being an Englishman and of England, I am seeing that the view of our political class and our police class, if you want to call them that, is that anyone who is of either an indigenous British person, English, Welsh, Scottish, Northern Irish, who is proud of being that, who happens to be my colour, i.e. white, and who wants to voice support for this country or voice concern about the kind of people who are coming into this country, we are of course branded as right-wing, fascist bigots. And you will find here in Britain every Saturday massive demonstrations of people of a certain race. They are all followers generally of Islam. They are marching under the cover of support for Palestine, but we also can take a fair guess that these people have an agenda, which is that they want to demonstrate there is so many of them now that there is nothing the country can do to actually stop them in their aim to be the dominant force, race, religion in this, what I thought was still a white majority Christian country. And although these people march en masse in their hundreds of thousands, they are not bothered in any way by the police. But if you see a single woman, as I've seen twice of late, praying silently on a corner, she is approached by police and arrested. But you also see pictures of multiple hundreds of Muslim men praying in the streets to Allah, and they are not bothered in any way, shape or form, although their praying is verbal and is stopping passage down that particular street for pedestrians and cars in a lot of situations. So the question is here, why? Why is this happening? What is going on? Well, it is my belief that both the political class and the police class are so afraid of being classed as racist. It is easier for them to hunt down people like myself, who are right-wing fascists, of course, although I am just a nationalist. I love my country. I believe that we have been a positive force in the universe and always will be, given the chance. So, what is it I can see coming? Well, going back to the title, what I can see coming is a race war. Yes, that's what I said, a race war, which is all down to the fact that the police, being the people who are supposed to uphold the law, protect law-abiding citizens, are not doing their job in any way, shape or form. They are negating any care or love or respect that they have for the country who employs them. They fail to understand that they are employed by the people of this country, by our taxes that pay their wages and the services that they have. They cannot respond to any domestic problem, whether it be domestic violence or whether it be a burglary or whatever it may be. They just don't attend. They give you a crime number just to confirm that you've reported it, and they don't bother coming. They're out on the streets and they completely wander by people who are committing crime in any other definition. It can be anything from a violent crime to assault to shoplifting or whatever. They just completely ignore it, and we are going down the same route of America, whereby shoplifting will be completely ignored up to a certain amount, and they will just allow that person to go off. There will be no mark on their official record, and that will be how it is, and that is just not acceptable. Now, there's an old saying is that I've always believed this, that the people will only be pushed so far, and it is my belief, given what's happened all around at the moment, we are seeing in Ireland at the moment that you've got immigrants coming in who are causing major problems in Ireland, and the Irish people are now standing ground. Mysteriously, hotels that were due to accommodate immigrants are setting on fire, and I don't really know how that's happening. Maybe it's a very similar thing to how diesel Range Rovers are catching fire at the moment. It's one of those mysteries that I can't really understand. And that the Irish people are marching now, basically saying that the island is for the Irish, and I'm in full support of that. And all of this is because their president, or Taoiseach as they call him, is now a person who doesn't like or love Ireland. And we are seeing this exactly the same here in Britain, because Rishi Sunak has no love, time or respect for Britain as a country. As we know, he was all due and set up to move to America when he loses the next election, which of course he's going to. He will re-establish his green card there, and he and his billionaire wife will disappear, leaving Britain in the dust. So, as I say, regarding people only being pushed so far, I think the British people are at that point now. We are bringing in my opinion, disruptive scum who are only here for one reason, which is to get involved in crime, either at a local or national level. Hence why you are seeing large preponderances of car washes or Turkish barber shops and that kind of thing, which are all a front for laundering money. And we're seeing this over and over now, and we're seeing attacks on the street by sub-Saharan Africans We've got this uptake of knife crime in lots of the major cities. London, Birmingham, Manchester and Leeds are now minority white cities, and this needs to be resolved. But the groups of people who, two groups of people who we depend on to do that, the government and the police, are not doing this. The current Home Secretary, James Cleverly, is not interested. His predecessor was sacked solely because she wanted to do something about this. So because nothing is being done about this, the people are getting rightfully pissed off, and they are now going to start standing against the immigrants, and it is going to get very nasty, very violent and quite bloody. And I can see that the police then will come onto the streets standing against the indigenous peoples and the long settled peoples of this land, supporting the Islamists against us. But what the police don't realise, there is more of the indigenous and long settled peoples than there is of them. And I think it's going to become very, very frightening very, very soon. And I see this happening very, very soon. The government are not in a position to make the people of this land feel secure. They have no intention of doing that. They brag that they've reduced the small boats coming over. Well, they've not done that, as we're well aware. What it is bad weather. Bad weather between November last year and it continues now. So that will slow down the small boats for now. But they are still authorising about 67 to 68% of all requests for citizenship in this country. Now, how is that any sense whatsoever? They're allowing somewhere like a city the size of Birmingham to come into the country every year, and that is just outrageous. That cannot carry on, and I think the people of this country are actually going to stop this. It's going to become very bad out there on the streets. If you watch Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, so many clips on there are showing attacks by immigrants. Now, I can only assume that politicians stay clear of X because they don't want to see the problems that they're causing. So I do think that this is coming. It's a very, very sad situation. All this problem was foretold a long, long time ago and nobody listened. And then when Tony Blair came in 1997, he wanted more and more immigration into this country. I never knew that. I never understood it then, and I still don't understand it now. But it's something which only makes life in this great country of ours worse, and it's something which will only make people of this country more and more annoyed. And that's coming, and it's coming down the road very, very quickly. Let me know whether you agree. Let me know whether you see the things I see. I don't watch TV anymore in what's called the conventional way, like a lot of other people, but I do get all my news off the internet, and I see it all over the internet. Let me know what you've seen. Also, let me know if you disagree with me. Let me know if you agree with letting lots of people in who we don't check. Let me know. Let me know why you think it's okay to let all these people in. And let me know why, if you do give a house place to someone, anyone, an unknown fighting age young man, let me know if you do that. Let me know why you've done that. And if you don't do that, but you do agree with people coming in, why won't you give them a room in your house? Why won't you give them a room perhaps next door to your teenage daughter? Why not? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm going to stop because it gets me really annoyed and really upset that my country is being dragged down. And I will say as a last thing here, there is an old saying which is import the third world, become the third world. And that's exactly what's happening, is that you see, for want of another phrase, ghettos being set up of Pakistani and Bangladeshi people, where it just becomes a tip, and they're living in the same conditions as the country they left, except they've got the benefit of refuse collection and fresh water. Other than that, they're living exactly the same life. Please leave all your messages down below. Spread this around. It's very important, and I need to hear from people what your views are. Put all your feelings down below. Please spread this around. Give it a thumbs up. There's going to be quite a lot of this kind of stuff coming up soon. More stuff about EVs as well that I'm catching up on. That will be coming soon. Feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything at all. It doesn't, sign you up to anything other than seeing these videos when they get out there, and it will help the algorithm from YouTube to say that this kind of stuff is out there, rather than the just left-wing bias that there's a lot out there right now. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.